Good evening and welcome to this edition of the Island Stats Football Show. I'm your host, Earl Baston. Joining me this evening, co-host Andrew Griffith. We want to say get well to Garrett Punchy Dill, who is under the weather this weekend. But Andrew will be joining us on the Sunday night football show. First of all, thank you very much for joining, Andrew. We're looking forward to some interesting banter with you as football brewers in Bermuda.
Thanks for having me. Glad to be here, and hope we have a good time tonight.
All right. Well, let me quickly run down the results from this weekend, and we'll start with last night over at the BAA Field. It was Wolves 1, Hamilton Parish 3. Today at Southampton Oval, it was Paget Lions 2, North Village Rams 1. At the Wellington Oval, it was St. George's Colts 4, Devonshire Colts 3. At Police Field, it was Young Men Social Club 0, PHC Zebras 2. In First Division, last night at the BAA Field, that was midweek. At the BAA Field, it was Boulevard Blazers 2, Vasco 0. And then today in First Division at Southampton Oval, it was Southampton Rangers 2, Crossroads 2. And at the BAA Field, it was Robin Hood 2, Somerset Trojans 1. Well, let's start with the last night's game, Andrew, where the two bottom teams in the Premier Division went head-to-head in Wolves and Hamilton Parish. Hamilton Parish were desperate to get their first win of the season, and they did so with a 3-1 win. And they drew level on points with Wolves, but go ahead of them on goal difference. So those two swap places, but still only 4 points. But it's been a long journey for a team like Hamilton Parish, who had gone 6 games without a win, and then in the 7th game get that first win, taking them off the bottom of the table.
Parish plays some good football when they have all the players, and Sergio always has them prepared. So it's a bit surprising that they are going through this slump, and I expect them to get better when they get a lot of their players back.
Sure. And when you look at a team like Wolves, who have been playing in games but struggling a bit, not to get something out of this game, it must be disappointing. Yes, Wild Child, finally you got your 3 points. It's only the start because it's a lot of season to still be played. So yeah, but looking at Wolves, Andrew, they're gonna need to dig themselves out of this hole really, really quick.
Yeah, and if Wolves want to stay up, they have to beat depleted teams like Parish, because once they play the better teams, like, they're gonna really struggle to find out where the points come from.
Yeah, without a doubt. Now let's turn our attention to today's game. North Village coming to this game riding high, top of the table, after PHC lost midweek to St. George's. North Village stood alone on the top of the table on 15 points. They're playing a Paget team who haven't been getting the results. They've been fighting hard, but haven't been getting the results they've been looking for. And today, Paget come good, 2-1 winner, scoring in stoppage time to get that winner. No goals in the first half, though.
I went to this game today because I live and work. It's close to me. I'm a member of Workmen's, and I'm a member of North Village. So for me, it was a personal derby, and it was a good atmosphere at Rangers today. Good crowd. The sun was out, and like I say, Paget played some good football. They deserved to win. Village didn't take their chances. There's a couple of times where the Paget keeper was off his line, and they could have lobbed him. One went over the top, and another hit the crossbar. So don't take your chances. You don't win. And it looked like not making any excuses for Village. They had a few players that were injured from the Thursday night game that went to extra time.
Yeah.
Mirdil, he got a hat trick the last game. He didn't play. So that combined with the players that are overseas for cricket,
Mm-hmm.
the coach, Cal Deal, he had to move around a lot of players and play them in positions that they wouldn't normally play. But all credit to Paget, like they fought and they got their points.
Yeah, I know. A few weeks ago, I mentioned to Punchy about North Village. Although they were winning, they were getting the goals in areas from just Jonte and Jai Bean. Um, sprinkle here, sprinkle there from another player, but the majority of the goals were coming from those two. And and today is an identical day that showed it. If Jai is not going to score, and of course Jonte is on cricket duty, they're going to struggle to get the results.
That's very true. Like Jai had a few misses. Some of the chances that fell today, but Jonte takes them with no problem. But that's why you have 20 players on your roster, so that when some's out, some have to step in and help you out. 'Cause,
Yeah,
you can need 20 players for a season. So again, Paget stuck to the task, and they deserve to win.
yeah. I mean, you look at a team like Paget, who they have a lot of guys who are very, very, very skillful, um,
Yeah.
and they really try and play some good football. Antoine's got these guys believing that they can really play good football together, and it takes a team. Um, and they were on the winning side. I mean, they've been on the wrong side a couple of times this season already, but it's not through the lack of them trying. But today they get their reward in beating a team like North Village.
Yeah, they used they used Delray Rollins
Hmm.
perfectly. Like he's the big guy up top. They bang the ball to him, and he can hold off defenders, slows it up for him, works any other players. So, and that's what they did today. I think he played about 80 minutes,
Yeah.
and he did his job.
Definitely, definitely. Well, let's go down to Wellington Oval, where it was the battle of the Colts, and in the end, it was the Hall brothers who stole the show. Cash Hall got a hat trick, and Blaze Hall got one as they defeated Devonshire Colts 4-3. But it weren't all their way. They were leading 4-1 at one point in time, 3-1 at the half, 4-1 a couple of minutes into the second half. But Devonshire Colts fought back, scoring two goals in the last 10 minutes and one in stoppage time, to make it a very interesting and an entertaining game. Devonshire Colts come in, despite losing in extra time on Thursday night. They came into the game in second place in the standings. St. George's were mid-table, and an opportunity to draw a level on points with Dandytown, who have a game in hand, who actually have to play Devonshire Cougars. We're waiting for the association to reschedule that game from Friday night with all that rain. But when you look at the two teams, Ray has had Devonshire Colts believing that they are title contenders the way they've been playing and the results they've been getting.
Yeah, I we got WhatsApps during the game. At Rangers, and once we heard it was 4-1, like that game's over. But true to form, like Ray doesn't let them stop, and they keep playing and playing and playing. So when we heard it was 4-3, it's like I wasn't that surprised because Colts gave Village all they could handle on Thursday night. That game
Mm.
went to extra time. They never stop running. So hats off to them for staying in it and making it a game.
Yeah, but also had to go off to St. George's Colts because two big wins this week. First, going up to PHC and beating them on their home soil, and then defeating Devonshire Cougars. It's going to reassure their new coach, obviously Geronde Bascom, is going to reassure him that he has the players to get the results that are needed, and they just need to believe in the system that they're trying to play in, and things will go their way.
So, but they seem like they're a bit Jekyll and Hyde. Which one's the real St. George's? The one now or the one before? tell,
You
tell
never
me what
know.
you think.
The real one showed up this week.
All right, we'll see. I hope Jacko shows up when they play North Village.
Well, you already got the better. You already got the better of St. George's the first time, but hopefully St. George's are hoping that Bernard Park's open, and they have to play the second game, the second time around, because they usually beat North Village at Bernard Park. So yeah, St. George's be
Well,
itching to
we
get.
we owe them for the FA Cup, so we're waiting. We hope it's up in our park, and I'm sure because Patches was with him last year, he wants to win too.
Yeah. Well, you could owe somebody for the FA Cup. You better all start looking at yourselves first because you didn't show
Point
up at
taken,
all.
point taken.
Uh, so now we go to that PHC game. PHC um, go to a field where they struggle. They have struggled the last 2 years. Where Devonshire Colts and Young Ministers Club share a field. PHC have gotten a lot of mixed results there, but today they come out on top 2-0 over Young Man Social Club. Obviously, Social Club, they're still in their tailspin. They started the season off with a bang, beating North Village, picking up another win here and there, and now they seem to be on the backslide, where the girls are not going in for them.
But I think it's like they just got the captain back, so that made a difference. So they like for they're always contenders, but it just seems they have the little bumps. So hopefully they righted the ship and they'll be stronger for the rest of the season.
Yeah, PHC. Yeah, they've had their ups and downs. I mean, I was when they play at home, it's usually a fortress, and when they lost to St. George's, who they lost to in the FA Cup semifinal at PHC last season, I thought they would have wanted to avenge that, and if they did, they didn't do a good job at it.
Yeah. So, Social Club also is another one that's up and down, up and down. So when they play, I think Mike gets them to play good, attractive football, and they have a good crop of players, but they also seem to be inconsistent.
Yeah, he would need to look at the calendar and say, and even sit the team down and say, listen, these are the games we have to win. These are the teams that we have to beat, and these are the teams that we want to challenge. Although you want to try and win each and every game, but the way your season's going now, you really have to be realistic and say, right now we're losing to the top half of the table, where we should be, matching the bottom half of the table. And if we can do that, we'll get a point here and there, or even 3 points here and there, and pull ourselves out of the relegation. And the same thing for even Hamilton Parish, because they have to start looking at the table and saying, okay, where can we get another 9 points? Where can we get 9 points from? You don't play Wolves every week, and you don't play yourself. So you have to really start looking at, here's a team even today, like a team like Paget, who proved if you show up with the right mentality and if you do the job right, you can beat a team like North Village who have been on a roll of late. And the same thing for St. George's Colts. St. George's Colts have won 2 big games, overcoming PHC and Devonshire Colts all in the same week. So they'll be riding Claude 10, not Claude 9, Claude 10, come their next game.
Yep. And Paget's definitely going to be safe. Like Paget are looking more at the top half of the table fighting. So Social Club will have to do what you said, try to pick up all the points they can get so they don't get sucked on with Hamilton Parish and Wolves.
Mm-hmm. Well, what we're going to do
they can thank North Village for the 3 points they got early in the season.
And they still got to play them again, so they'll get another 3 right there.
Yeah, I hope not.
Come with that same mentality. It's any Social Club, and then you end up on your own side.
Yeah, I'm sure our coaches won't let that happen.
Your coaches hang around Social Club.
Yeah, might have to talk to them about that.
All right, we're going to take our first commercial break. When we come back, we'll have more of the Island Stats Football Show. We'll be right back.
Thanks.
days are busy enough. Why not let Lindo's Drop It take a little off your plate? From St. David's to Somerset, Drop It delivers from Lindo's straight to your door. It's easy, convenient, and leaves you with more time for friends and family. This season, let Lindo's Drop It make holiday shopping as effortless as the holidays should be. Order now and let us handle the rest. Lindo's, why go anyplace else?
Beneath the cloud blue sky, where the ocean meets the land, and the long-tailed fly in Bermuda. Our hearts belong to this beautiful island. As an island, we are strong, proudly Bermudian. In every single way, from the sunrise to the sunset, and every single day, for over 135 years. It's been clear, Lady Silence, proudly Bermudian. Bringing us near. Cause we are proudly Bermudian. Digital is proudly Bermudian. Digital is proudly Bermudian.
And welcome back. Well, Griff, I'm just going to run down the standings after today's results for the Premier Division. The PAC Zebras are now top of the table on goal difference. They are plus 13 on 15 points from 7 games, 5 wins, 2 losses. North Village also have 15, but have a goal difference of 12. 5 wins, 2 losses after their 7 games. Devonshire Colts are in third with 13 points. 7 games played, 4 wins, 1 draw, 2 defeats. The Dendy Town Hornets are in fourth, 6 games. They have that game in hand, 3 wins, 2 draws, and a defeat on 11 points. St. George's Colts are now on 11 from 7 games, 3 wins, 2 draws, 2 defeats. Paget Lions moved on to 10 points after their victory today in 7 games, 3 wins, 1 draw, 3 defeats. And Devonshire Cougars on 7 points from 6 games, 2 wins, 1 draw, 3 defeats. Young Masters Club are in 8th place with 7 points. They have 2 wins, 1 draw, 4 defeats. And of course, Hamilton Parish on goal difference ahead of Wolves. Both teams have played 7 games, won 1, drawn 1, and lost 5. Hamilton Parish have minus 15, while Wolves have minus 17. So that's the current standings as after today's matches. But still a 2 games left to go in the first half of the season. And then what they say in the second half of the season, you separate the male from the boys.
Yeah, but you also get mixed in there. Some of these teams will get a lot of students back early in December, so that may throw a wrinkle in there too.
Yes, yeah, but by then I think they're into cup games. I'm not sure if you're into league games during that period of time, and then you get spoiled with those players coming back at your expense, and they come back and they do a good job, and then all of a sudden they're gone, and you're right back to what you had. But it's a matter of those players that take that time off to heal.
Correct. So what happens to the teams that don't have students? All of the current players, they have extra games over Christmas, and then you find out even a lot of the teams that win, they have a lot of injuries that come out of the competition at Christmas, and then in January, February, they're depleted because they have all these they played extra games.
Right.
So students do help when they come back.
Oh, definitely. And but it takes the mature player to understand that when these students do come back, they're here to help the team, not just take my place. I'm not affiliating while they're away, kind of thing. And you have, some players do think like that, and it's hard because you hear them talk. They'll say to the coach, "What? I'm just affiliating, or I'm just taking this work." No, you're part of a team. That's what you signed up for, to be part of a team.
Definitely. Could even look at the final. I believe Paget flew in a couple players, so they were boosted their ranks in that regard. So I expect that they'll they'll have them at home for Christmas as well. So
Hmm.
it will throw a wrinkle in the competition because you're not going to see the same players that you saw a few weeks ago.
Right, right, right. Which is only good for football because most of these guys who have been playing, especially in the U.S. in colleges or universities, their season are now over, and that's sitting around itching, waiting to play. But
Yeah,
they're still keeping themselves in shape because they know when they come back, they want to be able to help their team, kind of thing. So it'd be interesting to see because it's funny where a team like Thomas College have five, six Bermuda players, 6 or 7 Bermuda players in it from different teams. But when they're at Thomas College, they're all playing together for one cause. But when they come back, they're split up, and that rivalry begins right away, kind of thing. So it's funny, but they all get along, which is a good thing, and they have that competitive spirit that.
yeah, the camaraderie you see it when they play each other on the field.
Mhm.
It's different from the week in week out rivalries where people are, I'm just gonna kick him. I don't like it, but these guys are used to playing with each other.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I just want to let everyone know we are going to be joined at the bottom of the hour by Zico Lewis. As we know, Zico and his Union of Omaha team won the USL Division One championship um, uh, a few weeks, 2 weeks ago. So we're going to talk to him about his season and what's in store for him next season. In the bottom of the hour. But we're going to continue our conversation here with the Premier Division. You said you watched the North Village Paget match. Did the game look like after with the first 45 minutes and no goals scored? Did it look like it was going to get a goal, or it just looked as if the two teams were going to battle out to a scoreless draw?
No, it had moments in the game, little flashes here and there, some opportunities, but the players, I guess, once they got on stage, they flopped the lines when they got in the 18. There was a
Mm,
couple of shots where you thought they were starting to score and they hit it over the top or hit it wide, but it had like the build ups from both teams were positive and
mm,
decent. I think in the end, I thought North Village started to rely on a long ball and just pump it like 60 yards up the field, trying to
mm,
get a knock on or something, and they got away with the fluidity that they normally play with. But again, Patrick defended well.
mm. You said they utilized Patrick utilized Dowry being a
Yeah.
big target. Sometimes you gotta because even last week I had said to Punchy, I said Antoine's gonna have to decide whether or not he's gonna have to be able to play and kind of help show up the defense because that's where they've been leaking and lacking. They've been able to score goals, but I figured because he had done it when he was at Robin Hood, played down the back. The same type of role Kyle played when he played with Robin Hood and was coaching Robin Hood. He realized I'm got guys that could score. We can score 2 and 3 goals a game, but we've got to stop letting teams score 2 and 3 goals against us. So they put themselves in that position just to marshal the defense and keep them organized. And that's the key. If you have somebody that can organize your defense, 9 times out of 10, the amount of goals you're going to give up is far less than when they're disorganized down the back and teams are able to run through and have free opportunities against the goalkeeper.
Yeah, they were pretty organized today. Even the goal that North Village got, I think it was from a free kick, and it was a scramble. It got knocked around in the box, and then
Mm-hmm.
hooked to him at the end. So they they coped with North Village well today, and they reduced them to taking mostly shots from outside the box. So I wouldn't say that they defended badly today.
Right, right, right. When you look at a team like North Village, I mean, that first loss of the season against Social Club, not a comeback, and they've lost to Patchett. Um, what would you say? What would be the talk in the dressing room after a game like today? I mean, because you got to be heartbroken. You lose in stoppage time.
Yeah, I think they'll hold their hands up again because it was a lot of players playing out of position due to so many people being out.
Mm-hmm.
And so the thought was always to try to hold on while the 3 players are with the cricket team and now picking up the additional injuries from Thursday night's game.
Hmm.
It's just gonna have to try to soldier on and get what you can. So I think I talked to Patches on Friday. We went to Mr. Neil Painter's annual birthday party. So
Okay.
it's a lot of good fun there.
Right.
And he says he just tries to get them to have fun, even training, everything. Look, enjoy your football, and the results will come. So
Hmm.
he tries to keep it simple, and they pretty much what they did today. They should have taken so many chances, but again, as football, if you don't take your chances, it's gonna hurt you.
But the good thing is now it's throwing the title race wide open because with them stop on the 13, and then you get PAC drawing level on points with them. Devon Scott's right behind them. If despite their loss, and now even closer come St. George's, and you have Dandytown knocking on the door too. They're only 4 points behind the leaders. So when you start looking, and everybody's got to play everybody at least a second time if they haven't played already. So it makes it very interesting. We're looking at a second half of the season that every game you probably have a lot of phone calls going around. A lot of WhatsApps going around. What's the score over there? Who's leading this and who's leading that? So let me just ask you, what did you think? Because we had some referees from overseas, some officials from overseas. What did you think of how they handled today?
They were quality. I had no complaints about them. I think even the coaches from both sides, you can see like they bring a standard and they raise it. So and the players don't really argue or talk back with them like normally like when I used to referee. So
Yeah.
it's good to have the foreign referees. And I saw even at one point it was a player standing up on the Paget bench, and the fourth official, she walked on and said, "Hey, only the coach can stand up in this area and sit back down." So they maintain a standard.
Right, which is good. I mean, but what's funny is it's almost like even if a local official, fourth official, was to do that, the person would have words for him because they know him. But it's all about respecting the person's position as opposed to the person himself, he or she himself. Ain't that right?
Yeah, I agree completely. I can remember when I was refereeing, somebody told me to go back from my country. I guess they didn't know that I'm Bermudian, so I had to say, "Oh, you want me to go back to Southampton?"
Southampton could be a different country at times.
Could be.
Well, what we're gonna do, we'll take our second commercial break, and when we come back, hopefully Zico would have joined us by then, and we'll bring him into the conversation. We'll be right back.
Over the pink sands, beneath the clear blue sky, where the ocean meets the land, and the long-tails fly in Bermuda. Our hearts belong to this beautiful island. As an island, we are strong, proudly Bermudian. In every single way, from the sunrise to the sunset, and every single day for over 135 years. It's been clear, it's silence for League Bermuda, bringing us near. Cause we are proudly Bermudian. Digital is proudly Bermudian. Digital is proudly Bermudian.
Putting down the weapons.
You seeing this?
holidays are busy enough. Why not let Lindo's Drop It take a little off your plate? From St. David's to Somerset, Drop It delivers from Lindo's straight to your door. It's easy, convenient, and leaves you with more time for friends and family. This season, let Lindo's Drop It make holiday shopping as effortless as the holidays should be. Order now and let us handle the rest. Lindo's, why go anyplace else?
And welcome back. Well, Zico hasn't joined us as of yet, so we'll jump into the first division, and then if and when he joins us, we'll deviate and come to that. Midweek at the BAA field, it was an encounter between the Boulevard Blazers and Vasco. Boulevard will win that game 2-0 to close the gap in on the first division leadership. They actually did have the lead. They went to the top of the table following the 2-0 win on 13 points ahead of St. David's, who had 11, and Crossroads, who had 2 games in hand, were on 12. But you take a team like Boulevard, unpredictable at times. I mean, they found their way in the first division. And a team like Vasco, who have a lot of youngsters involved in their program right now, still learning how to play together. But a Boulevard team where we remember the days of Boulevard being title contenders in the Premier Division, and now title contenders in the first division.
We've been seeing Boulevard have been in recent years yo-yo, and they'll go up, come down, up, down. So it's trying to work out for them. Will they be able to attract the talent that's needed to stay in the Premier Division if they get promoted?
And that's mainly the key. It's keeping that talent or getting that talent to nurture it. That's going to sustain them. They have very skillful players, individual players who in the first division can dominate, but then it takes a little more commitment in the Premier Division because of the fitness levels and the pace of the game. Boulevard can match it early, but then start to fade. We saw that the last time when they got relegated, where they were just struggling week in and week out. But they picked up. They had Joe Ma's coach, got rid of Joe Ma, got back the coach that had been kind of motivating them into believing that this is the style that Boulevard play. This is how we play. This is how we do things. And you could see the difference in the response of the players. So we'll have to see how they go on for the remainder of the season. We'll keep an eye on them, see where they end up. They don't play Vasco every week, but hey, here's an opportunity for them to continue on their journey in their next outing.
So we could look no further than Devonshire Colts. Look at last season. Devonshire Colts went undefeated.
Yeah.
Now every week now they're in a dogfight. So when you step up to the Premier Division, it's completely different from First Division. So it's everything has to be. You need the skill of the players. You need a good number of players. The coaching, everything has to line up for you because it's no easy games.
Yeah. And then we'll look at today's matchup, the first matchup at Southampton Oval, where Crossroads, who in their first 4 games were averaging 3 or 4 goals a game. We only got 2 against the team that started the day at the bottom of the table, Southampton Rangers, who only had 1 win and 4 defeats going into the game. But Rangers proved that they don't want to be no pushover and was able to hold Crossroads to that 2-2 draw. I mean, it's very hard to predict how things will end up each day in and day out when we start talking about certain players playing or certain players missing games and so forth. But for a team like Crossroads, you wonder what's going on as far as them running away. Now, they didn't have Donovan Thompson did not play. He went off injured their last game. And
that's a big difference for him.
the girls. Yeah, I just wanted to make sure that I didn't see. Yeah, his name was not in the lineup today, and nor was he on the bench. So a lot of the responsibility now falls on the shoulders of Paul Simons.
Yeah, and I think you never underestimate what the 12th man could do, because there was a good crowd at Rangers today, and
Mm-hmm.
they would have pushed these guys on to do stuff bigger than what they would normally do if they were playing
Mm-hmm.
away. But they were definitely buoyed by the crowd today.
Sure, sure, sure. And then the other game at the at BAA, you had Southampton Rangers. I mean, Somerset Trojans traveling down to Robin Hood. Now, both these teams at the beginning of the season were predicted to be challenging for a promotion spot, whether it be them as league champions or second place. But they're both finding themselves mid-table, and if you look at the results, Somerset, after an early setback, had been on a roll, winning 3 games in a row. Robin Hood picked up, well, they were struggling, only 1 win going into the game with 1 loss and 3 defeats. But then Robin Hood ended up coming out on top 2-1. Just goes to show, if again, like you said, if you don't show up and play at your highest level week in and week out, you can get stung by a lesser team at any point in time.
Yeah, as both teams seem like they're in flux now with the changes, so that's going to show up in the consistency. So not surprising where they are in the standings.
Yeah, yeah. It's amazing how things work out where they'll look to see where they can get to in the next games. But for a team like Somerset, they pretty much kept most of the players that were involved in the Premier team last year, and it's kind of surprising that they're not dominating this first division as of yet. I'm not sure if it's injuries or commitments or whatever it is, but it's kind of surprising to see them lingering in the middle of the table, where you have a team like Crossroads, who got relegated last year, now tied for the top. Boulevard, who have been knocking at the door the last few seasons to get promoted, and a team like St. David's ahead of Somerset and Robin Hood. So,
it won't be easy to come back up.
Yeah, yeah, it's gonna be a struggle.
Yeah.
I just want to quickly go down the list because we do at each week we predict who will win games that are coming up in the league. So I want to go from last week. We have to look at the match between St. George's and PHC. Both of us picked PHC, and we were both wrong. Punchy and myself, we were both wrong. And then, of course, going into this week, the Dundee Town Devonshire Cougars game, we have both picked Dundee Town, but that match is still yet to be played.
Do they have a make-up date for that game yet?
They haven't released it as of yet. I've been looking at emails or whatever, and they have yet to inform the media when this game is due to be rescheduled. So then we had Wolves and Hamilton Parish. Both Punchy and I picked Wolves, so we didn't get a point there. And of course, the PHC Social Club game, we both picked PHC, so we both got a point. We both took North Village to defeat Paget. That didn't happen. I took St. George's. Punchy took St. George's. I took Devonshire Colts. Yes. So Punchy got one right, and I didn't get a point there. We both took Boulevard to defeat Vasco, so we both got a point. We both took Somerset Trojans to defeat Robin Hood, and that didn't happen. And we both took Crossroads to beat Southampton Rangers, and that did not happen. So in the end, Punchy finished with 3, and I finished with 2 going into those matches. Now,
You guys better keep your day jobs. You're not gamblers.
well, that's the problem. I mean, when you start trying to figure out a schedule or how teams are going into a game and who's doing what and so forth, it's not as easy as people think, because you're always going off of what their last performance was, and if we keep going on that road, I mean, gosh. It's very. I'm telling you, it's not. It's, you'll soon find out. I'm just I'm just looking, trying to get the schedule for the next league games, which are December. What is it? December. What is it? Yeah, December 7th. And
7th is this Saturday.
Okay, so. All right, so this should be good for you here. On Saturday at Southampton Oval, it is Paget Lions entertain Wolves at 3 p.m. on Saturday. I'm gonna take Paget.
I'll also take Paget.
You're gonna take Paget?
Yeah.
Okay.
After what I saw today, they seem like they play well at him.
Okay. This game was scheduled for Saturday, but it's not sure if it's going to take place on Saturday or evening. North Village hosts Devonshire Colts, or Devonshire Colts will host North Village up at Police Field, I believe. No, because Young Men's Club playing Devonshire Rec the next day. So it's North Village and Devonshire Colts. Who would you take?
Based on their current form, can we pick draws?
Yeah, you can take a draw. Yeah, you can take a draw.
I'll call a draw.
You're calling a draw. Okay. I'm going to take North Village. I think despite what Ray has been able to accomplish with that team, and it's been a great job thus far, I think Patches will get North Village back on track. Just understanding that, like you said, if they have fun, things will work out their way. So I'm going to take North Village for this match over Devonshire Colts.
I'm concerned because just of what Devonshire Colts did against North Village Thursday night. Like they led twice, and Village were fortunate to get their goal in extra time. So, and Devonshire Colts, I think, play well at Police Field. So I'm hoping we can get it in, but a draw, I think, might be the best expectation.
Yeah. Okay, so then on Sunday, Social Club entertain Devonshire Cougars. I'm going with Cougars.
Social Club and Cougars. I have to go with you. I'll have to go with you with Cougars.
Okay. All right, and then at Wellington Oval, St. George's and Hamilton Parish. You're first.
St. George's at home again. After what they did today, I think Devonshire Colts are definitely playing better than Hamilton Parish. So I think they should have an easier time with Parish.
Okay, all right. Now, a tricky one at BAA Field. Dandytown hosts PHC. I'm actually going to take this game as a draw.
All right, Jacqueline Hyde, I'm going to say PHC. PHC is back and legit. Sorry, Kyle, I'm going against you.
I was going to want to put a little something on his former club, so... yeah,
he's gonna have to put it on him in the bar after the game.
And then we go to the first division where Somerset Eagles face Robin Hood. Somerset Eagles have been struggling, although they're due to play at home. I'm still going to take, after today's win, I'm going to take Robin Hood.
Yeah, I can't argue against Robin Hood. Robin Hood.
Now, big match because it's first against third. St. David's host their tenants, Crossroads, at Lord's.
Oof.
Yeah, first.
All right. Just to make it interesting, I think again the 12th man will have something to do with this match. It should be a lot of St. David's supporters there, and they'll push them on. I'll go St. David's.
Okay. I'm going to take Crossroads to edge this game. I think the coach will figure out, especially after today, he'll figure out how to get Paul a little more freer if Donovan's not able to play, to at least get 2 goals. And I think St. David's with Keishan Bean playing, they'll be able to get at least 1. So I'm going to take Crossroads 2-1.
Can I call back in and change my pick if Crossroads striker ends up playing?
No. See how difficult it gets? See what it gets? Yeah, see? And then the final game is Vasco versus Somerset. Somerset go back to BAA Field, to the place where they lost today. They go back there to face Vasco, but I think they'll have enough to beat Vasco. So I'm going to take the Trojans to win that game.
I would have to agree to you. I think Somerset should have enough to do it. So I'll go Somerset.
Yeah. So there you have your picks for the next league matches that will take place next weekend. I want to say, to you, Griff, thank you very much for joining. Look forward to you joining every week to have the banter we can have. And
so you call me if I have a perfect week. You ever had a guest have a perfect week?
No, we've never had a perfect week. We've been going. This show has been going for quite some time, but we've never had a perfect week. So let's see if you can get your first week a perfect week. If you do, boy, it's a hard thing to keep going after that.
Yeah. I'll have to retire.
We'll see. We'll definitely see what those results look like at the end of next week when we come back on at 6 p.m. With another edition of the Island Stats Football Show. Thanks a lot, Griff. Appreciate it. Look forward to seeing you next week, okay?
All right. Take care.
Enjoy your night.
You too.